What's up guys, welcome back to Deck Tech for Decks. I'm your host Caleb. If you want to support me, you can now follow me through Patreon. Not only is it the best way to support the channel, but additionally, you'll get more say in what decks I cover. Special shout out to my high contributing patrons. Newsom, you rock. Now, let's get into today's Deck Tech with 9 Fingers Keene. And yes, in this deck, you will be able to draw your entire library and combo win with a Mazes End strategy. Kind of cool. This girl honestly suffers a lot because a lot of gates are just terrible. They enter the battlefield tapped and slow you down to the crawl. But the thing is, we've gotten a lot of tech over this past year that allows your lands to enter the battlefield untapped if they would enter the battlefield tapped. So that's only going to speed this deck up and make it more consistent. Another thing we're going to do is, if we can't combo win with that Mazes End, we're just going to outvalue our opponents and overrun them with a landfall strategy. So if that sounds like a deck tech you want to get into, let's get into it. Let's kick it off by talking about how we're going to draw our entire library and win the game. Now there's 2 different ways to do this, so let's go over number 1. The first step is get a creature on the battlefield that taps and lets you put a land from your hand into play. Now there are 5 different creatures in this deck that can do exactly that. The next thing you're going to want to look for is Retreat to Coral Helm. That's going to allow you to untap that creature that taps to put the land into play. The next part is what kind of land you put into play. You need a bounce land. So the interaction is going to go like this. We're going to tap our Secure Tribe Scout to put our bounce land into play. Then Retreat to Coral Helm will trigger. We will untap our Secure Tribe Scout, and then our land will bounce itself back into our hand. We can then repeat this process, getting ourselves infinite landfall triggers. From there, you just need a payoff. Tatiova is one of our best payoffs here because it will result in us drawing our entire library. Other solid payoffs to look for are Tiller Engine, The Only Useful Turtle, Tireless Provisioner, Spelunking, and Stone Cedar Hierophant. These guys are going to either net us a treasure token or allow us to tap that land for mana before it goes back into our hand. That way we're netting mana every time we do this sequence. Now that we have all the mana and our deck in our hand, we can easily send off a Nylea's Intervention, getting us all the gate cards we need, followed by a Journey to the Oracle to put all of those lands into play. Be careful not to deck yourself with Tatiova. Make sure you leave at least 10 cards in your library. That way there's no chance you die. From there, once Mazes End is in play, you easily untap it with one of the untap effects and go ahead and put it back into your hand and win the game. Moving on, let's talk about the second way we can draw our entire library. We're going to use Retreat to Coral Helm again, Zimone and Dina this time, and then again we will need that land that returns itself to our hand after it enters the battlefield. From there, we need a landfall effect that creates a creature. That way we have constant fodder for Zimone and Dina. So all we have to do is play that tapped land. We're going to untap Zimone and Dina using Retreat to Coral Helm, and we will net a creature off of our landfall trigger. From there, all we do is return the land back to our hand, tap Zimone and Dina to sacrifice that creature, putting that same land into play, allowing us to repeat the entire process and draw our entire library. If you guys have a little bit of an extra budget, it's probably a good idea to include a Lab Maniac or Thassa's Oracle to make this win line a little bit cleaner, but using Mazes End here is still very acceptable. Moving on to the core of the deck, we need to make sure our commander is constantly connecting. That way we're getting those gates into play. So Aqueous Form, Vorok Battlehorns, and Alpha Authority would just flat make her unblockable. Key to the City does the exact same thing while giving us a little bit of a loot effect, and then we do have Black Blade Reforged just to make her massive. Realm Seeker is going to be massive and can search up any land in our library, so that's going to be pretty useful. District Guide and Gate Creeper Vine are going to be solid cards to search up those gate cards. Crop Rotation can get us any land in our library. Mythos is a solid tutor here that can not only return our Mazes End from the graveyard, but additionally tutor up any permanent card in our library and put it into our hand, so that's pretty good. Life from the Loam, another way to get our Mazes End if we just so happen to lose it. Merit Lage is in the deck just because we have a lot of tap creatures, so the fact that we can use those on our opponent's turn is going to be pretty useful. Mirage Mirror is very flexible. It can turn itself into an artifact, creature, enchantment, or land, so we can have it be a gate if we need to get to that 9 gate threshold. Replication technique is just going to be another solid way to get more gates into play. Our commander only cares about having 9 gates and doesn't care that they all have the same name, so that's going to be solid. Moving on to card advantage, we have Guild Summit, a solid way to get some card advantage when it enters the battlefield, and then just some consistent card advantage whenever those gates are entering the battlefield. Hackball is going to be solid here, just a way to put more lands into play while drawing cards and rifling us through our library. Gretchen is just another way to again draw cards and put lands into play. Zamone, again, we are drawing cards and putting more lands into play. Tireless Trackers just going to get massive in this deck and give us a ton of clues. Doomscar Warrior is kind of cool. It's kind of like a mini-me for our commander. That ability is going to dig us deep, get us the creatures we need or the lands we need. Then we have Phyrexian Arena just for some solid card advantage throughout the game. Urban Evolution, drawing cards, putting lands into play. Mind Spring, Stroke of Genius, Pull from Tomorrow, and Cut of the Prophet all seemed pretty good here since we do have a ton of lands to take advantage of. We might as well be including some X spells in this deck. Moving on to ramp, we have Enter the Unknown, Growth Spiral, Explore, Open the Way. Pretty good here because you're guaranteed to get lands. Circuitous Route and Explore the Underdark can get those gates and put them into play. We have Druid class just so we can play additional lands as well. Moving on to our removal, we have Reality Shift and Beast Within. Broken Bonds is kind of cool here because it can be flexible removal, and again we get to put more lands into play. Reclamation Sage, we have Negate, Counterspell. Filter Out's pretty cool here. It can hate out all of those artifact and enchantment strategies, and then we have Azuri's Predation. We can get a massive board state while killing everybody else's tokens.
Scroll down, let's see what we can get here. Nope. I dig it. We'll draw a card. We'll play this out. Go to our next turn. Tap unless you control 2 or more basic lands. We don't do that. Okay, we'll do this, and then we'll throw out the Varrock Battle Horns. Go to our next turn. Island, and we will... This is... Yeah, we will toss a Phyrexian Arena. Then boom, draw another card. Cool. Tap this for 1, tap this. This will go back to hand. We'll throw this out with our floating blue. And then we'll probably instantly crack it for Maze's End. Is that the play? Nah, I kind of want the one that taps for gates. Because we can do some funny stuff with that one. There it is. Cool. Alright, and then we'll put this in a hand. Pass turn. Go here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can cast Replicate and Demonstrate to create 2 of these. See, this is why I was like, this could be fun. Boom, now we have 2 of those. Oops, forgot to draw Phyrexian Arena. We'll do that now. And we'll go to our next turn. Alright, so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gates and 6 gates. So we have 6 gates out, so these will tap for 6 mana. Alright, let's do that. 1, 2, so we'll add 6 black, use 2 of it for another 6 here. That'll go to 10, and then use 2 to go here, adding another 6. So that'll be 12. Cast this for 4. Going down to 8. Cast this to search for a gate. Cast this, tapping this gate to draw a card. Right? And then we can just cast this too. So draw a card, view library, give me another gate. Sure, this is fine. And then... Oh, tap this as well to draw a card off the summit. And we will go to our next turn. Boop. Draw a card. Now, we have another gate we can put into play. That'll be tapped. How much gates? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Oh, when the gate comes into play, we draw a card off Guild Summit. Nice. Okay, so what we can do here is play this. Put another gate into play. And then draw another card off Guild Summit. That's good. And then we'll destroy something. We can also... I don't know why I'm not using those. We'll tap this for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. Use 3 of it to play this. Going down to 5, use another 2 mana to make a copy of Baldur's Gate. We now have 9 gates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so our commander's live. Pretty dope. And we have all the mana in the world due to the Baldur's Gates. So let's just go to combat. Oh, sorry. I will tap... Oh, I have floating mana. I will equip the Varrock. Attack with her. She's unblockable. And then all 9 of these will go to my hand. So I'm just going to draw them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards. Gross. Okay. We can even... here, tap 2 of these to add 9 mana, and then add another 9, so that would be -2, so that would be 7, plus 9, 16. Use 8 of it for, where are you at? I saw you. Guruk's Predation. We have no idea what that would be, but we'll assume it's a lot. Wipe the board decently well. Throw this out. Throw Coral Helm out. Throw this out, so that's... And then we could also do Spelunking. We'll draw a card off of that. Anything else we want to cast? Not really. Pretty sure we played Land Return. And then we will go to... Well, let me discard. We gotta go to discard. I want to keep one of these in my hand. Alright, go to our turn 8, draw another card. We got another gate. That gate will enter untapped. We will draw another card because of Phyrexian Arena. We have Tireless Provisioner. Now, I think we do have the Infinite, but we have no card draw, if that makes sense. Because we can play this, put it back, tap this again, play this. I guess we have Tireless, so we effectively have infinite mana here. Infinite mana, interesting. So wait, with infinite mana, oh, if we have a gate, we can actually draw our card with Guild Summit. So the first thing we'll do, oh, we don't have a bounce line. Actually, we don't have a gate that bounces. We need a gate that bounces itself. Never mind, I'm a liar. So that's unfortunate. Infinite mana, but nothing to do with it. How about that? I guess let's just draw 9 cards, right? We'll attack with our commander, draw 9 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is this an infinite mana outlet? It is an infinite mana outlet. There we go. So now we can play, put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. Yeah, okay, so now we can play my girl Gretchen here, and since we have infinite treasures, I'll just explain the loop. I know I explained it in the video, but I will explain it here again. The board has gotten really messy, but essentially what we're doing is, where'd this go? We'll play Simic Growth Chamber. It'll be untapped because of Spelunking. We can tap it for 2 mana. Coral Helm will... Oh, sorry, yeah, we tap this to put it into play. We tap this to put Simic Growth Chamber into play. Coral, or Retreat to Coral Helm will trigger, untapping this. Spelunking will trigger, untap it, we can tap it. Tireless Provisioner will trigger, we'll generate a treasure token, and then this will go back in the hand. Then we can tap it again. All that repeats itself. This is untapped, we tap it for mana. Tireless Provisioner, boom, back in the hand. So now we can draw our entire deck with Gretchen while putting lands into play. Nylea's Intervention can easily find us our Maze's End. So now we just search out our Maze's End. There, added some stuff in there. So now we search out our Maze's End. It will enter untapped because of Spelunking. And we will keep drawing until we get 10 lands into play, or 10 gates into play, and then we easily mazes in for the win. We got there, guys. So, yeah, the deck kind of spins its wheels, but it spins its wheels with a ton of value. Once you get to 9 gates, the fact that you're just drawing 9 cards every turn is kind of absurd and kind of just gets you there. So, again, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think about this deck tech. As always, I would like to thank my patrons, Newsome, Chicken Salad, Excessum. You guys are amazing. You keep the channel going. As always, I hope this helped you in your deck building endeavors, and I will see you in the next one.